Let's bring on another guy that is known by his nickname, and that is Devo, Eric Devendorf.
But I wonder if he had a nickname.
That's what I was going to say. Do you have a nickname, Eric, that people used to call you that like we don't know about, like from high school days?
No, nothing as good as Skibby.
Well, I was also called Small Paul, and Steve was Rat Boy.
Rat Boy.
So I unfortunately shared the story yesterday, Eric, that I very simple taste when it comes to my food. So I used to bring like a plain bagel with a slice of American cheese. That was like my lunch. And so the Rat Boy kind of developed after that.
Okay, well.
I prefer not to be known as Rat Boy, I'll tell you that.
I just had Devo came when I got to Syracuse, and then it was really the E. My mom would always just call me E, so that's
okay.
Yeah, simple.
All right, like Eric in Entourage, E, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk some hoops here. We'll get into this SU team here in a second, but one of the reasons we wanted to have you on, I know you got a camp coming up, correct? With Brandon Trish. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what folks can expect and how kids can get involved?
Yeah, so it's at the end of this month. It's going to be June 30th through July 3rd. So it's Monday through Thursday, and we're going to go. It's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's a long day of basketball. Myself and Brandon Trish, along with other coaches in the E23 Hoops program in the Syracuse area, are going to be helping. We do it every single summer. Nike helps sponsor it, so we'll have Nike balls. We'll have all the gear. All the landlords and stuff that they send in. But besides that, you're just going to get a lot of good work in, a lot of good skill work, a lot of competitive gameplay, a lot of fun games and prizes. Every summer it's really good. We usually limit it to around between 50 and 60 kids, just to keep it to where it's not chaos, but more so controlled chaos. But it's just fun. I love seeing the kids come out. It's a lot of familiar faces that come summer after summer. So we're hoping to get some new faces in there. You can go on ED23 Hoops, Instagram, Twitter. I have all the links to sign up. You can go on ed23hoops.com. So June 30th through July 3rd, myself, Brandon Trish, along with other local area coaches, we're just looking to have fun. Help young kids develop their game and get some more interest in it, and hopefully they can gain confidence from that and kind of take it over themselves.
What's the age group you're looking for this, Eric?
So it'll be 8 to 15. Okay. Boys and girls are included, so it's co-ed, but 8 to 15 years old, and we'll break them up in by ages and skill level, and we'll do stations, competitive games, and some drill work. So it'll be a good week. It'll be a lot of basketball, a lot of fun, and a lot of improving your game.
Sounds like a good time. All right, let's talk some Cuse hoops now. And we've all been watching as this roster comes together little by little, and it seems like they're in a good spot right now, and maybe done. Maybe they add another piece or so, but I think we have a good feel for what this team is going to look like next year. What do you make of this roster that as it's constituted right now?
Well, I feel a lot more confident coming in, this year than last year. Just with, I think, there's athletes all across the board. There's a lot of versatility, a lot of, switching, pick and rolls, a lot of getting back to, playing fast, getting out in transition. And I think that's just how the game is played now. I mean, obviously, I love the point guard pickup and Nathan George. I think he's one of the best playmakers in the country. Add a couple shooters, with Kings and versatility with the big fella coming in from Georgia Tech. And I don't know too much about this big guy that they just signed, but I think just having another big guy who's versatile, who's athletic, that's what, it seems like Red and company are trying to do, is get way more athletic and have more versatility out there on the floor, and I think they did a really good job of doing that.
When you look at Nate George, what did you see of him? You called games, I'm sure, of theirs, and how much of an improvement will that be?
Oh, huge. I mean, for one, it's just going to be able to let JJ go ahead and do what he does, and that's score the basketball. He can really focus on that instead of having to worry about, making decisions for other guys. Nate George is going to put him in position to be able to score easier, and I think he'll just be more efficient. I'm not going to say he's going to average a ton of more points because he averaged, 19 points or 18 points, whatever it was. But I think what's important for JJ is to become more efficient out on the court, get easier shots, easier looks, games where he could be 8 for 14 instead of, 8 for 21. And I think Nate George will just help everybody on the floor get in their spots and get a little bit more comfortable, find the shooters, and he does a great job of pushing in transition and getting out. And again, he's one of the best decision makers. So I think when you have a lead guard, you want to make sure that he's a good decision maker, and Nathan George he's that.
What about the defense at the point guard position? I don't think I'm speaking out of school where they struggled a lot on defense last year.
Well, we were smaller, right? I mean, Nate George is like 6'4", 6'5", and he's not like crazy long, but he's athletic and he's able to be a disruptor. I'm not going to say he's one of the best defenders, but I think he is a solid defender. And look, when the guards get by and get into the lane, I think we got bodies and athletic guys in there to be able to challenge shots at the rim. So I just think overall this team has got better on both sides of the ball. And defensively, they could switch a lot, and again, that's kind of how the game is now. You have to switch with your bigs, and your bigs have to do a good job of being able to stay in front for at least 1 or 2 seconds until that help gets back. And I don't think we had a lot of rim protection last year. That's no slight to Eddie. I think Eddie did a great job offensively, but not much of a rim protector. And I think we got multiple guys who were able to block shots, and then once we block shots, we got the guys who can get out and run and rim run and make plays at the rim.
We had Coach Boeheim on yesterday, and he talked about foreign players coming to play college in America. And I brought up Luke Fennell, and he said he didn't know much about the league that he played in. You played down there. What was that league like when you were around? And is it a competitive league?
Big time league. Oh yeah, it's even better now than when I was there. And so I was there, and then the year after it was Johnny Flynn on the same team, and then the year after that it was Hakeem Warwick. So I mean, it's a super competitive league, and you talk about guys like LaMelo Ball, and I know Dante Exum. He's from Australia. He played in that league. So no, Fennell's coming in like already having that maturity of playing against grown men, and he's a big guard. I think he's 6'5", 6'6". He's left-handed. He could score the ball, but he's been playing against grown men, just like most of these guys that come over. They've been playing against grown men since 14, 15 years old. So I think the speed and the physicality, it's not going to be anything different for him. So he's got a leg up on everyone just from being able to play and have that experience in the NBL over there.
What are you expecting out of Syracuse this year? I don't want to put you on the spot, but like as a former player, what are your expectations for this year's team?
I mean, the expectations every year would be to make an NCAA tournament, right? I know, you go back the last 10 years, this or whatever, but I think just when you talk about Syracuse University, you always think, regardless of what they did the year before, you're like, all right, it's NCAA tournament, right? And if you don't make the NCAA tournament, then it's probably not a successful year. So I think, again, they did a great job of getting a lot of athletes. They get some shooters. They got a great decision maker, and then they got 2 superstars coming back in JJ and Donnie. And I think that's another guy we haven't talked about. Donnie is a guy who he's got to take that next step to where, like, every single night he's on the scouting report like, hey, this is the best player on the team. Obviously JJ he's the best scorer, but I think Donnie could be the best player. He's an NBA talent, and if he takes that next step, then I think this team could be pretty good. So, I mean, you have to say NCAA tournament. If they don't make the tournament, then I don't think it would be considered a successful season.
All right, Eric, I got to jump in here for a second. We do have some breaking news that we want to pass along. I have just been informed by a source that Reggie Thorpe has been hired to be the next head coach of the SU women's lacrosse team, replacing Kayla Traynor, who has obviously moved on to Penn State. Reggie, All-American at Syracuse as a player, came back as an assistant coach, worked under Gary Gait for a while when Gary was with the women's program, and he has spent the last handful of years down in Florida. Most recently was serving as the associate head coach down there in Florida. So Reggie Thorpe is the new head coach of the SU women's lacrosse program. We will get back into that following this interview. We'll wrap things up here with Eric, and we'll talk about that on the other side. Sorry, Eric, I just wanted to get that out there as we just learned that news. A lot of people were waiting for that announcement, and there we go with Reggie Thorpe being named the new head coach. In regard, go ahead, Paul.
I did want to follow up on my last question, Eric. You said it's the tournament or bust for Syracuse. You played under Coach Boeheim, and now you've seen 2 years. You haven't been in depth with the team, but how different is the program now under Red with the way things are run than when Coach Boeheim was here, from your eyes?
So, I mean, I think it's going to be different. You're going to take a little bit of what Coach Boeheim has done, just because Red's been under him forever, but also he wants to put the stamp on put his feel on it, like put his stamp on the program. So it's definitely going to be different. I mean, obviously, you start with his own going to man, and I think for Red, he wants to keep it similar offensively, because what Syracuse basketball is known for is getting up and down, playing transition, and offensively, you're not doing a whole lot of sets. You have the guys who could go in there and make plays and make reads, and I don't think we necessarily had a lot of those guys, last year and I guess years before that, and now you have a few guys who could, they can score, they can make decisions, and we have athletes that can get up and down. So you want to see them get back to that, Syracuse basketball, getting up and down, transition, alley-oop dunks, open three-point shots in transition. And then defensively, I think, like I said before, they got a lot better. And I think that's really where Red can kind of put his stamp on this program, is on the defensive side of the ball, because we haven't seen, man-to-man, obviously. So if he could really, get his guys to lock in on that end and lock in on that half-court defense, I think it'll be good for Red and good for this program.
Eric, one topic that's come up recently, was in the news again yesterday, discussed at the Big 12 spring meetings, and that is NCAA tournament expansion. What are your thoughts? The NCAA president right now, he's saying that they want to go to either 72 or 76 teams, just kind of add what they're doing right now in Dayton, and then take those winners and funnel them into the field of 64. What do you think about expanding by 4 or 8 teams?
I think they're trying to make more money. I mean, you know what? This is one thing that doesn't need to be messed with is the NCAA tournament. I mean, just how it is perfect for me. I mean, it's so much nostalgia. I mean, everybody, they wait for March to come, for March Madness. I think they need to figure out the NIL stuff before they, start going into any other areas of basketball. So. Yeah, it's just a way to figure out how to make more money, but they got a few other things that they should be dealing with before that.
Did you have a chance to watch the NBA Finals last night?
You know what? I fell asleep, but
me too, bro.
Paulie did too.
I'm not. I try to at my best, but once it goes past like 10:30, it's like it's over for me.
Man,
but it's crazy. Halliburton is unbelievable. I was talking to somebody, they were like, yeah, it's kind of like Allen Iverson when they were playing the Lakers or whatever. The first game he had 41, and then they didn't win a game after that. So I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I like this Pacers team. They got a lot of grit, they got a lot of grind, and but I think OKC, I still think they win it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You can't fall asleep on the Pacers. I had to watch last night because I was at work and the game was on Channel 9. But man, they just, every time you think they're dead, they find a way to come back, and they've done it repeatedly throughout these playoffs. Hopefully, it will be a good NBA Finals. Lastly, Eric, anything else in the community wise? We talked about the camp to kind of start this thing. Anything else you got cooking that you want to get out there?
Yeah, well, we got the camp, and then August we'll do our annual back-to-school event. It's going to be August 23rd at Kirk Park. We'll hand out 300 to 400 backpacks with school supplies. We'll have free haircuts, food, music. And then into September 22nd, we'll have our golf tournament. So this will be our second year doing the E23 Foundation golf tournament. So I'm sure I'll get on, going into the closer to those dates and promote it even more. So that's what we got going on right now, though.
All right, open invitation. Anytime you want to come on and let us know about something, you've got an open invitation. Enjoy the start of your summer, and good luck with the camp. And we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you. Eric Devendorf. Devo, E, joining us here on the show.
You should have been like, Rat Boy out.
Again, in case you're just joining us, Reggie Thorpe, the new head coach of the SU women's lacrosse team, we'll take a time out here. We can discuss further on the other side. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.